Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. There is the market bell just in time. And today, of course, I want to talk about Bitcoin and crypto, but this latest revelation about FTX and Luna? Did SBF crash Luna? Was he behind it? So now FTX is being investigated for market manipulation. So what's that about? Let's take a look at how they could have done it. And let's talk about what's going on, of course, in the world, in the markets, and everything else. So, welcome, guys. Good morning. You know, today is actually looking like it could be a good day because U.S. market is finally looking like it wants to turn green after 5 consecutive down days. And, you know, Bitcoin itself is hanging in there. But let's get to this story right here. FTX founder, SBF, has been investigated for crypto market manipulation. Okay, this is no surprise. This has been rumored for quite some time that FTX, Alameda, specifically Alameda, did something with Luna. Because that's what they do. How did SBF make all his money? Through arbitrage, through manipulating the market. Even CZ didn't outright say his name, but CZ early on said someone was trying to do some shady things on Binance. Okay, I think he was trying to crash their futures market or somehow try to manipulate it with a ton of assets or funding back in the day, right? And that's when he kicked them out. And that's when he actually SBF started FTX. So you know that's in his wheelhouse. That him and his team, you know, their algorithms, their bot trading, all this stuff, they're looking for, I guess, ways to outsmart the market, right? And one could say, well, that's market manipulation. So they are being investigated for that. Obviously, I think most of you guys already know what happened back in May. The UST got depegged, and then we saw Luna go from 100-something down to where it is. Well, now it's the Luna Classic, but 6 trillion Luna tokens was minted because UST collapsed from $1 down to, I don't know where it ended up, but it went, you know, really, really low. And then because of redemptions, because of how the algo works, it minted $6 trillion worth of Luna. Okay, so now it's a lot of Luna Classic, and then we still have regular Luna. The regular Luna is Luna Classic, and then we have new Luna, just called Luna, because Kwon forced a contentious hard fork and forced it upon everyone, which no one wanted. And now I'm hearing Terra Station doesn't support Luna Classic anymore because they're upgrade, whatever. So it's just a whole mess. Yes, Kwon is, you know, he's not forgiven, even if this is true, because he did a lot of shady stuff, of course, as well. But Kwon is coming out with some of his theories, or could be truths, right? And this also relates to Genesis. Genesis, we know, is $1 billion in the hole, right? $1 billion in the hole, and they are looking at bankruptcy. But they are also tied into this. So according to Kwon, he's asking Genesis to reveal that $1 billion in the hole to Alameda. Was it because they loaned $1 billion UST to SBF or Alameda? This was back before the crash. We knew that there was someone that had enormous amount of UST, and that is how they were able to depeg the UST by trading it all in and crashing prices everywhere, right? So, did SBF and Alameda start this by, first of all, borrowing $1 billion worth of UST from Genesis Trading? Also, it seems like Alameda borrowed 9 figures in Bitcoin from Voyager right before the depeg, and other firms 10 figures. Okay, so we're talking about massive amount of borrowing from these firms, right? Possibly because they wanted to buy even more UST. So that's how they crashed everything. Maybe it was unintentional because we know that Caroline is no genius, right? Maybe they thought that, hey, they could cause it to depeg for a little bit. Of course, arbitrage and make some money, and then UST will recover. They didn't know how shaky UST was, and they just brought it down. I think that's a very likely scenario. That SBF and Caroline, because of their money problems, they borrow all this money, they want to arbitrage, they want to manipulate the market, cause it to depeg so that they can benefit from that, but then they didn't know that it actually would bring down the whole thing and Luna crash and burn. I mean, that's actually a pretty good, I would say that's a pretty good theory right there. There's other things. If you go down, people ask, well, you know, is that true? Because, you know, CryptosCapital, which also went down, Alameda had a lot of exposure to CryptosCapital. So why would they hurt themselves, right? And Do Kwon answered, well, CryptosCapital exposure to Luna was not that large, 100 to 200 million. But again, that theory makes sense that they probably didn't think that Luna and UST was going to go under. They probably did it just to cause it to depeg, cause it to come down a little bit so they could arbitrage, and then it comes back up, right? They were just looking for that moment to trade. But instead, they brought the whole damn thing down, right? So if you think about it, almost every single collapse in the market, well, no, every single collapse that has happened in 2022 and the ones that are still collapsing now are all related to FTX and Alameda. If you think about it, every single thing, starting with Luna, right? And then you had CryptosCapital. Yes, they are involved. And then you look at the lending companies like Voyager. Yeah, a close connection there. Now you look at, you know, others, Genesis. They're probably pulled in, yeah, because they were the ones that loaned SBF so much money, right? So Genesis pulled in, BlockFi got pulled in, like literally every single company that went under this year, outside the ones that were hacked and stuff, but like every single one, yeah, they crashed because of FTX. But again, this doesn't take blame off of these guys, right? They made risky loans. They should have never made uncollateralized loans, right? That's on them. So this doesn't forgive everyone. This doesn't forgive CryptosCapital or Genesis or BlockFi or Celsius, Voyager. It doesn't forgive them. They should have never given out bad loans. And they should never had so much leverage because a lot of them were hurt badly by Luna too, right? So this doesn't forgive them. But it's all looking like it's pointing to one man. This guy right here, SBF, that may have caused the downfall of everything. Makes you wonder. But I'm sure as the investigation continues, as a new CEO of FTX looks into the books and as prosecutors and regulators dig in, the truth will be revealed for sure. And this guy that's been doing a lot of interviews telling everyone that, hey, this is just, you know, I didn't know what was going on. Everything is just like, you know, moving without me. I had no clue. You know, it's all going to come out. And it's going to be revealed that it's nonsense. He knew exactly what was going on. There's no way in hell he didn't know what was going on. All right. So, wanted to start out with that. Truth comes out. A little bit. As for other things that's going on, well, Bloomberg strategist Mike McGlone, big commodity guy, big Bitcoin guy, thinks that the crypto market will come out ahead in 2023. And he makes some good he makes some good arguments. Let's just put it that way. One that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is this. A lot of people refer to the period we're in right now, crypto winter. But he argues it's not crypto winter. It's investment winter. It's everything winter. Okay? NASDAQ tech got absolutely slaughtered this year too. Everything got slaughtered this year. It's not just the crypto thing. It's because the macro environment, the rate hikes, and everything else, right? So he's like, you can't just say this is crypto winter. Everything got affected. But in 2023, he does think things will get better. Of course, there's a lot of on-chain stuff that shows that we are extremely oversold. But if you're looking at other things like commodities and stuff, right, they all look like they want to turn in 2023. So he thinks that Bitcoin and crypto will come out ahead in 2023. And I do think so too. I don't think the first half of 2023 is going to be that great, but I do think the second half of 2023 will be much better. Once the rate hikes start tapering off and stopping, that's when we could have true recovery. But up until then, we will still have rate hikes, and inflation may still be on the rise, right? And we still have supply chain issues. We still have war. We have a lot of things going on. But I think second half of 2023 is when things could really turn around and heading into the halving event in 2024. And then, of course, you know, just to show you guys the basics, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, people that continue to hold, yeah, it's going up. 0.1 or more Bitcoins being held in addresses continues to go up, skyrocketing right now. Like, has not come down at all. Just keeps going up, keeps going up. And that is what you want to see. Accumulation when things are low and down, right? And then balance exchanges, the opposite, is dropping like a rock. And that is also what we want to see. We want to see Bitcoin being taken out of exchanges, right? That's only going to add to the scarcity factor. The less Bitcoins there are on exchanges, the better it is, right? So these are still looking good. As for other stuff that's going on, institutions to tokenize $25 billion in off-chain assets in 2023. Van Eyck executives predict, and also BlackRock said this too. So another use case that may be coming, okay, in 2023 and 2024 and beyond is tokenization of securities and tokenization of property, tokenization of literally everything. I think it will. I think it will happen. A lot of things, and it's been said, NFTs will drive the revolution for tokenization. I know that doesn't make sense, tokenization, but like basically putting things on the chain, right? These NFTs can be used for a variety of things. Right now, it's more or less just pretty pictures, but the use case for NFTs go way beyond just pretty pictures. You could do contracts. You can verify things like, for example, I don't know, archaic documents when you buy a house, right? Your title company wants all this stuff. You can put all that on a blockchain, right? You can tokenize it. You can NFT it. And there's other things that you can do. You can break up properties, right? I think this already started happening. Just homes. If you want to buy a fractional share of a home, right? You can tokenize it. I mean, there's so many things that we can do. It's still so early right now, and it seems kind of silly, but in the future, I think it's all going to be done. It's just a matter of time. It's just a better way to do things if you think about it. So now you put everything on a chain. Everything could be verified. Nothing could be, everything's transparent. Everything can't be modified or changed or hacked, and it just makes a whole lot of sense. All right, so there's that, and then let's see, the U.S. market today. U.S. market finally opened in the green, although NASDAQ is barely clinging on. NASDAQ may still turn red, but we had 5 consecutive red days. I did see this breaking news. WNBA star Brittany Griner is released. There's a high-profile prisoner swap between the U.S. and Moscow. Joe Biden said he's been working on this for quite some time. They exchanged an arms dealer that had served 11 years out of a 25-year sentence. That's who they traded, Victor Bout. But yeah, she is now free. Obviously, everyone knows that she was caught doing some bad stuff, yes, but it didn't justify the 11 or 9 years that they sentenced her, right? It was just a ploy to get the U.S. to do some kind of prisoner swap. But it's good that she has been released. So, but in the meantime, the war still continues. Putin says he's prepared for a long, long war in Ukraine. And he just does not want to give up. But the good thing is, it does seem like Ukraine is still making good progress on recovering lands that was taken, right? So they're pushing the Russians back. So overall, it seems like things are still moving in the right direction, positive direction. Former Theranos COO Sunny Balwani sentenced to 13 years in prison. Elizabeth Holmes also sentenced to 11 years in prison, although she's trying to contest that. I mean, this court case has been ongoing for like how many years? Like 10 years, and they're still trying to fight it. But yeah, she got what she deserves, and so and him too. And then lastly, I saw this was weird. 4 major tech companies, Google, Oracle, Amazon, and Microsoft, all rewarded a Pentagon cloud deal up to $9 billion. I don't even know how they go divide it up. I don't even know why the Pentagon decided to just give it to all the companies. It should just be one. It should just be to Amazon or Microsoft. If you're spreading out among 4 major tech companies, I don't even know how they're going to talk to each other. They all have their proprietary software and systems, so I don't even know how that works. But yeah, there's that. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A. All right. Scrolling up here. Truth about Luna. Moon is flat. You mean the Earth is flat? All right. Scrolling down. Let's see. What did I miss here? Your thoughts and opinions on Robinhood? I mean, I don't have a whole lot to say about Robinhood. They obviously they grew by, okay, I don't know how to say it. They took advantage of 2021. They grew by leaps and bounds in 2021 because of GMC, AMC, right? And then, they jumped into Doge. They jumped into crypto, right? And then when 2022 hit, they really started struggling because all the millennials, all the people that aped into things just got out and stopped trading, right? So now they do seem like they're in financial problems, have financial problems. 7% of their stake is locked up by FTX right now. So I don't know what's going to happen there. But, the good thing is they seem like they're still building. They're, that crypto wallet that allows at least people to withdraw. I think that's a step in the right direction. I think it's still in beta. But if they can make that in a full-blown self-custody wallet, which I don't think it is. I don't think it's self-custody. I don't think they give you your recovery phrase. If they could go in that direction, good for them. Good for them. But as for Robinhood themselves, they don't look too good. I mean, if Coinbase is struggling and they just came out and said their revenue in 2022 is going to be like 50% plus lower than 2021, Robinhood is going to be absolutely disastrous. Let's see here. Money Buggy says, I'm an IT nerd. Did you mine BTC or XRP? No, neither. It was Litecoin. Litecoin back in the day. Did you see the new ledger, according to Alex? Yes, yes, I did. Yes, I did. And it looks really cool. I mean, it is created by the founder of iPod, so you know he knows how to design cool stuff. And the e-ink screen, I think that's brilliant. You know, e-ink basically takes no power at all, so you could have your NFT displayed or your sidebar, whatever you want it to be displayed, and it could just literally stay up like forever. It's really genius if you think about it. It is expensive though. It's expensive. It's definitely towards the, I don't know if there's a luxury market for wallets, but it's in there. Will stupid meme coins be around the next bull run? Yes, they're still around now. If they're still around now, you don't think they're going to be around in the next bull run? They're going to be around, and they're going to be even stronger. Do you think the Santa rally is canceled? Well, I don't know if it's canceled. Because we still have 3 weeks left, right? And anything can happen in a week. I still remember it's a different time, but in 2017, you know, Bitcoin literally went from 6,000 to 20,000 in 2 weeks' time. That happened. 6,000 and 20,000 in 2 weeks' time. So we still have 3 weeks left. Can we see something special the last 2 weeks of this year? It's certainly possible. But as for just long-term recovery, I think that's probably going to happen second half of 2023. I think first half of 2023 could be decent, but I think we're not going to see any major recovery until the second half of 2023. Will Theta come back? Yeah, I think so. See, the problem with Theta, and this is just from my own experience, because I was talking with them back in 2021 when they were super growth mode, and I was talking to someone from the team because they wanted, they were trying to get me to come out with something with their NFT store, and it was just a total disaster. The guy I was working with, non-responsive, and he was saying how they were, you know, they lacked manpower. They didn't have enough people on their team. And I found that really suspicious because at the time they were like high flying and, you know, market cap was in the billions. So I'm like, how could you not hire more people on the team, right? So they seemed distracted in 2021. You know, Theta was more meant to be like a decentralized streaming network. Has some major backers from like the founder of Twitch and YouTube. You know, but then they got distracted. They started to go into NFTs and trying to do an NFT marketplace, and it went nowhere. They signed Katy Perry. You never heard about that ever again. There was still a lot of stuff they were trying to do. So I think they could still definitely come out and recover, but I think they need to be more focused. Also, their Twitch TV, which is like a streaming channel for gamers, you don't really hear anything about that. I hope that they can do something to incentivize players to be streaming on Twitch TV. Is there a schedule when a rate hike will stop? Well, Mike, yes. Fed Powell 2 meetings ago released something like a chart, and he showed, like, at least according to the Board of Governors, when they think the rate hike will stop. And it's sometime in 2023. So they show it like it's just going to start tapering out in terms of rate hikes, and overall, you know, the fund rate will stop. And then some think it's even going to go down again. They're going to cut again. So it's going to be sometime in 2023. Lazaro, what would it take on Wednesday for market to rally when Powell speaks? Dovish language. That's what we're looking for. Pivot language. Are you a fan of Osmosis DEX? I've used it. It's fine. It's fine. I don't get really excited about any DEXs, really. Not anymore. I find there's so many. A lot of them are great. Osmosis is one of them. Pancake is another. QuickSwap is another. SpookySwap is another. Uniswap is another. I mean, they're all great. They're for different chains and they serve a purpose. But I don't get too excited about them anymore. I get excited more about L1s and other dApps, mostly L1s and L2s. Pod Peak. Congrats. The last Boeing 747 jumbo jet ever built rolled out of factory. Well, interesting. Interesting fact. Link or dot? I like Chainlink better. I like Chainlink better. But they're two different things. Polkadot is a L1 and Chainlink is a decentralized oracle. So they're two different things. But I do like Chainlink better. NMCT, I still don't think people realize how rare BTC is. There's only going to be 21 million ever. That's less than half the population of California. And there's about 3 to 4 million that were lost forever. Actually, the lost forever, the lost Bitcoins is probably a lot higher than that. It's more like probably 7 to 8 million. And I think you're right. People just don't realize it. People take it for granted that, you know, you could buy it on an exchange anytime, right? But exchange reserves drop and continue to drop. People are going to start feeling that in the future. It won't be so easy because with less supply and demand still rising, the prices go keep on going. Who knows how high we'll be in the next bull market and the next low, the next crypto winter. When we start coming down again, that low could be at 50,000 or 60,000. So we keep making new lows, right? But the lows are much higher than previous lows. And we keep making new highs, and those highs are much higher than previous highs. It's just really that simple. And it's due to the scarcity aspect. It's due to more people holding on to Bitcoin, more people buying Bitcoin, and less Bitcoin being released every 4 years. So it's just it's just supply and demand. It's just a matter of time. Bitcoin goes up and reaches new heights. Doge or VET? You got to go with VET, but Doge is also worth holding on to because of the Elon effect, I guess. I don't know what he plans on doing with Doge, but I know he's working on something. And VET continues to be used widely around the world and still growing their ecosystem. Music, fashion, NFTs, utility is the future. Yes. I mean, I think in terms of NFTs and tokenization, we barely scratched the surface. There's so many things that we're not even thinking about. And in the future, I honestly believe it's just going to be tokenized or NFT'd, and people won't even realize it. It's just like, ooh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this jump right here. Just like $100 and I say, look at this jump. But still, hey, it's breaking out. If it could break out of this, let's see if it could get up to here, 17,000. But, you know, there's so many use cases in the future that we can't even think of today. Do you think a few BTC maximalists are getting really greedy now? I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. Real greedy. looking pretty good. NASDAQ is going up. What is Tesla today? Tesla's been absolutely destroyed, and they're still in the red. Oh, let's see. Let's see if we go push right back up to 17K. Let's continue that Santa rally. Daryl, if I give someone BTC, do they get it at the same BTC price I bought it at, or the current price? The current price. If you're asking for tax reasons, they're getting it at the current price. How can I buy Matic in Polygon's chain? Well, you have to use a DEX, because all the exchanges that sell Polygon are selling it ERC20. Although some exchanges allow you, when you withdraw, you can withdraw on Polygon's chain. So that's basically using Matic on the Polygon chain. But if you go to Polygon's DEX, I forgot, I'm drawing a blank here. Which DEX? Shoot, there's a big one. There's a big one. I can't think of it right now. Is it QuickSwap? Yeah, I think it's QuickSwap. It could be QuickSwap. But if you go into it, then you could definitely trade for Matic that's within the chain. Yeah, it is QuickSwap, right? Oh, come on. Let's push back up to 17K. Not that hard. Just 100 points. We just need to push it back up to this level right here. Man, it's been, and this is zoomed in. I mean, it's been, Bitcoin has just been going like sideways. Where do you see ADA in 2023? Higher. Higher. I think in the second half, like I said this many times, I think the second half of 2023 will be good. First half, probably so-so. But first half is going to have, I don't know, small recovery, I would say. In the second half, we're going to have a bigger recovery. I do think 2023 will be a good year. Good year. And we have history on our side. You look at all previous years for Bitcoin, whenever we have one major down year, of course 2022 was it, we have 3 positive years that follow. I wish I had that chart right now, but I don't. But it shows you, if you look at Bitcoin's history, every time we have one major down year, the 3 years afterwards, crazy ups. I don't think that's going to change this time. No, I don't hold any ICP. I never trusted ICP. Do I think XRP will win? You mean if Ripple will win? Yes, I do think so. Unless Gary, out of desperation, declares Ethereum a security. Right? I think that's his last play. If he knows for sure he's going to lose and he really doesn't want to lose, I think he may make that declaration. He's saving that. Otherwise, he would have done it already. But I think he thinks that he could still win even without making that declaration. But we'll see. We'll see. What is the DXY at? Let's see. I think DXY is coming down a little bit. That's good. But we want to see DXY go much much lower. The beginning of the year, DXY was only at, or beginning of 2021, I should say, not beginning of the year, but beginning of, yeah, right here. Oops, right here. Yeah, beginning of 2022. I'm getting all confused. DXY is 96, so we definitely want to see it go back to there below 100. But this is one of the reasons why everything sold off this year. DXY, look at that, boom. Diamond Handero, I already answered your question. They get it at the price that you gave them at, not the price that you bought it at. It's that simple. Don't try to confuse things. Ooh, come on. Let's get back to 17K. No reason why we should be down here in the first place. So according to this Lux Algo right here, you can see the red and green bars. So this shows you like the buyers versus sellers. So there's definitely a lot more buyers here at this point, at this range, right around 17,000. But then a little bit above it, to break above that, seems like there's a little bit more sellers. So the sellers are trying to make a stand right here about 17.1. Again, this is on a very, very short time frame. But we should be able to get back to 17K, no problem. Even, I mean, it's only 70 points. It's not like the biggest thing. But zooming out, what we really want is to break out from, I would say, the 17.4. Because 17.4, if we break out of that, we could head right back up to 20,000, right? So we got to see a sustained push beyond 17.4. Then we'll be right back to 20,000, 21, 20, 21, and then let's see if that Santa rally could push us 30,000 by the end of the year. That would be crazy, but that's what it's looking like right now, in case you guys are wondering short term. Go to the Litecoin. No thanks. No thanks. I'll agree with the Bitcoin maxis on their point of Bitcoin is superior, and it is superior. And when it comes to store values, there's only one, Bitcoin. Litecoin is not Bitcoin. Armando, appreciate it. CZ. I meant Bitcoin maximalists taking down everything in crypto world. They're not going to take anything down. Okay? They could scream all they want. They're not wrong about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the best. Bitcoin is the biggest. It's the only store of value. Those are all right things, right? But to try to say that everything else is a scam just because of FTX and Genesis and all these guys, right? These are just bad actors in the space. It's not a reflection of everything. I mean, there's been plenty of bad actors in equities, in funds, in everything. That's not a reflection of the entire space, right? So that's the only thing I don't like. This narrative of like, okay, now the FTX collapsed, that's a reflection of how everyone in the space is bad and everything's going to crash to zero and everything's nonsense. That's just BS. All the innovations that we're seeing right now is all spurred from Ethereum. So how can you take that away? This push into decentralization to use DEXs, that started with Ethereum. So, you can't have it where, okay, you want true decentralization and ignore all the innovations because it didn't spur on Bitcoin. That also doesn't jive. If Michael Saylor start buying Litecoin, you think he'll pump it to BTC's price? No. Because just look at his recent buys recently. It didn't pump Bitcoin's price. First of all, he buys everything OTC market. So that in itself takes the pump away. And second of all, you know, people know that he's just a Bitcoin bull that he will continue to buy and doesn't really excite people anymore. When he first got in 2020, you know, it was so different. It was really refreshing to see someone new in the space, someone that really believes in Bitcoin so much that they put, you know, their balance sheet or assets, reserve assets, and put it into Bitcoin, right? And that was refreshing. And him doing a lot of interviews and stuff. But now it's like not as refreshing. It's kind of stale. People have heard that before, and people don't really get excited about it. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Let's see where Bitcoin goes today. But you know what? The truth comes out. Truth comes out. Well, at least Do Kwon's truth about what happened with Luna's collapse, right? Genesis, FTX, everyone else, you know, they're all complicit. The truth will come out eventually. But right now, we have the truth from Do Kwon, and we'll see. We'll see where it leads to. But in the meantime, stay strong, my friends. Today could be a good day. And I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.